Hello, and welcome back to another edition of After the Whistle. It's Monday, December 4th, and I'm Natalie Longroy.
And I'm Arpan Lobo. Tonight, we'll have highlights from GVSU basketball, as well as GVSU hockey and more.
GVSU men's D3 hockey completed a weekend sweep over Davenport. On Saturday, the Lakers were host to the Panthers at the George. The game was also a benefit to combat brain cancer as forward Alex Soroki's mother lost a battle with brain cancer over the summer. Soroki and the Lakers pushed 8 goals past Davenport to improve their record to 21-2.
Grand Valley and Davenport were also competing on the court this weekend, too. The women's basketball team came away with a 75-41 win in Grand Rapids. Taylor Parmley and Jen DeBoer each scored 16 to pace the Lakers. Grand Valley held Davenport to just 30% shooting. Our own president, T. Haas, decided to ball out against Davenport, too. President Haas competed against the president of Davenport University in a free throw competition on Saturday. He would end up coming up short, but he's still number one in our hearts.
For all you talented gamers, colleges may soon start looking to recruit you for their athletic programs. Jordan Jensen has more on the evolution of college esports.
They're starting it!
With cities like Los Angeles, Boston, Miami, and Houston picking national esports teams, it's clear that esports will be a driving factor in daily entertainment. Even before cities and colleges picked up on esports, the rise in online gaming has touched the lives of millions of gamers, like Kevin Dye.
No headbutt and stuff. Peel for me!
GVSU team captain Keegan Bagalski explains how many colleges have already begun adapting their athletic programs to include esports.
Robert Morris University, which is the first scholarship esports program. They're in Chicago, I believe. They pay their students to play League of Legends like our school pays football players or whatever. They have coaches, they have analysts, they have psychological professionals to help their players, and they have such a huge support system.
According to New Zoo, an esports database, esports viewership has reached 400 million worldwide, though colleges will still have to climb the hurdle that is the NCAA.
I don't know if it can necessarily become part of the NCAA, because all these esports events, players win prizes and stuff, and you can't do that in the NCAA.
Despite these concerns across the country, over 120 colleges are starting to develop an esports program, and over 20 U.S. cities are fielding national teams. Reporting from Allendale, I'm Jordan Jensen.
Thanks, Jordan. The college football playoff field is set. Clemson, winner of the ACC, will take on Alabama, while Big 12 champs Oklahoma will take on SEC champs Georgia in the 2 semifinals. Alabama was selected as the 4th seed over the Ohio State Buckeyes, despite Alabama not having a conference title, while Ohio State beat undefeated Wisconsin to win the Big Ten. How do you feel about this?
I think that Ohio State did get snubbed, honestly. I don't think Alabama's resume stood up to Ohio State's, just on the basis that the Buckeyes had defeated more ranked teams. Alabama's only real test was against Auburn, and they failed it. They lost by double digits, whereas Ohio State, they were able to beat Michigan State in blowout fashion. They beat Penn State, and they beat undefeated Wisconsin. Yes, Ohio State has 2 losses, but they have the same number of wins. The loss to Iowa looks bad, but in terms of strength of schedule, you have to give the edge to Ohio State. Now, Alabama's case isn't terrible. They still went 11-0, and they're going to get in on reputation because they're one of the lead college football programs. I definitely think, though, that if I were on the committee, I would have put Ohio State in, and then they put Wisconsin 6th. I would have probably put UCF at 6 just because they're undefeated, even if they aren't a Power 5 team. So I definitely think they missed the ball there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move to the NFL now. The Detroit Lions fell to the Baltimore Ravens 44-20 on the road. The loss puts the Lions at 6-6 on the year. Lions QB Matt Stafford had to leave the game with a hand injury. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks snapped the Philadelphia Eagles' long 9-game winning streak, winning 24-10 in Seattle. Quarterback Russell Wilson threw for 3 touchdowns. Finally, the New England Patriots breezed past the Buffalo Bills 23-3. However, Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski received a 1-game suspension from the league today for a dirty hit on a Bills cornerback.
For the interception, it's going to be, there's a couple of flags, different sides of the field.
It's Tre'Davious White, the rookie, who's come up with the football. It looked like there was a little push-up before the ball got there.
Oh, there definitely was. White's definitely holding Gronk.
That wasn't called.
And then he's holding him again, and then gets away with it. They don't call it. He intercepts the pass. Gets a little banged up. He's down. Someone comes by and hits Gronk from behind.
And then Gronk, this is going to get flagged.
Oh, Gronk.
Let's talk hockey. It's not easy being a Red Wings fan. The team was in Montreal on Saturday to visit the Canadiens. The Habs pushed an incredible 10 goals past the Wings, making life miserable for Hockeytown. Where do we go from here?
Well, I mean, the Red Wings, I think going into the year, there wasn't a really high expectation, but to lose like that is just embarrassing. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. And didn't they lose 7-2 not too long ago, too? Like, they've been on the down.
They're not a good team,
Yeah.
Objectively, but I would like to see a bit more fight from them. And come on, like.
I think we just need to expand or work on the defense a little bit because Eriksson is slacking. As always, it's not a surprise, but we have to work on the defense. We have to work on how deep our bench is because we're not going to be able to compete and we're not going to be able to get those spots in the drafts or make a stretch in the playoffs, if at all.
I think and it's going to be a long project to get back to where the Red Wings want to be, but I think there needs to be change at the top. I think there needs to be change in the coaching staff because if you look at this roster, there are tons of awful contracts to aging players that have never really proved anything. Like Eriksson, like you mentioned, he's one of the highest paid players on the team. That's just kind of embarrassing. I mean, he's never been good, like mediocre at best, but he's made his money. But it's going to be a long season. I would say you can get to Little Caesars Arena, but probably to watch the Pistons because they're actually good this year. Anyway, we'll cap off tonight's show with something a little more lighthearted. In Pontiac, Michigan on Saturday, the city attempted to demolish the old Pontiac Silverdome, former home of the Detroit Lions and Pistons, Monster Jam, WrestleMania, and much more. Unfortunately, the demolition didn't really go as planned. I guess it just goes to show that the Lions can't even implode right. Although, it did end up coming down today on the second attempt, so that's good.
That's going to wrap it up for tonight, and for this semester, we'd like to thank everyone watching for tuning in, and we'll be back in 2018. Until then, I'm Natalie Longroy.
And for everybody else at After the Whistle, I'm Arpan Lobo. All game, all season.
Always on After the Whistle.